So really, if you're tuning into the energy of abundance, if you're choosing to vibrate abundance, you're going to be in an energy of non-resistance. Abundance is an inside job, and your intuition is the key to unlocking it all. Hello and welcome. I'm Rebecca Davison, founder of the Intuitive Life Academy, the leading place to develop your intuitive and psychic gifts. As an ascension guide and light leader, I'm committed to bringing you all the latest tools, developments, and the neuroscience available when it comes to the art of effortless manifestation. This show is for light workers and for those who identify that your intuition is your greatest guide to bring you happiness, expansion, and money. With my corporate banking background, you'll receive practical advice along with all the energetic tools that you can apply in your life today. So if this resonates with you, let's jump into the world of abundance and learn what it takes to experience true freedom. Hello and welcome, beauties. This is your host, Rebecca Davison. You're listening to the Intuitive Abundance Podcast. Welcome to the show. This is episode 17, and today I would like to talk about vibrating abundance. How do we actually go about vibrating into the energy and frequency of abundance? So when I was starting to think about this topic, first things first is to remember that we are an oscillating field of energy. So at the moment, you are already vibrating. You are emitting a certain frequency which is made up of your beliefs, your attitudes, your behaviors, what you think about, where you are focusing your attention. So the good news is you're already doing it. However, how do we shift it to a place that is actually working for you? So you're already emitting a frequency, but is it the frequency of abundance? And how are you going to know? Well, what does abundance feel like? That is a really great question to ask yourself. What does abundance feel like in my body? Now, once you've asked that question, you might have an awareness too in your mind that moves into your body, right? Because that's where we want to get our information from. It's from the physical body. It holds a lot of our intuitive and psychic information. It's called local intuition. Non-local is when it's beyond your body. But if we're tuning into our physical body, our body's going to give us some information pretty much immediately on what abundance feels like in the body. And this is helpful in terms of being able to tune into it. You may have heard that expression before, tune into the energy of abundance. And the rational mind goes, what? How do I do that? How do I literally do that? And obviously the great analogy there would be to tune into a radio show. You know when you're in the right frequency or you're tuned in because the music from that frequency that's being broadcast, it's nice and clear. And this is what we want to endeavor to do with our own vibration in terms of abundance. We want to do the work to wiggle the dial to make sure that it's nice and clear and we're emitting a frequency that is very attractive through the law of attraction to abundance. Now, what does that look like? Obviously, through the Intuitive Abundance podcast, you would have learnt about your thoughts, your feelings, your energetic vibration, which is made up of all those things, your limiting beliefs, etc. So really, if you're tuning into the energy of abundance, if you're choosing to vibrate abundance, you're going to be in an energy of non-resistance. So one of the first places to look is, where do you have resistance in your life? And this is why people often don't understand that forgiveness is huge in terms of abundance. If you have somebody or something, a situation in your life that remains unforgiven, it's going to be blocking your flow because there is resistance there. Instead of being in a space of acceptance around it and loving it, Loving is acceptance. Loving is unconditional acceptance of what is. Then if there's any form of resistance there, it's going to start blocking your flow. And as you all know, everything is energy, everything is connected. So if we have resistance in one form of our life, it's going to show up in another. Right? When we're in non-resistance and we're fully open and able to receive joy, abundance, harmony, goodness, all the amazing things that life has to offer, and really getting to that place where you can see your life as the amazing gift that it is, that is a space of non-resistance. That is a space of what is here is not just acceptable, it's also good. It's also amazing. I also appreciate it. I'm also grateful for all my life experiences, no matter whether there has been contrast in those experiences or not. So first and foremost, do you have somebody in your life that needs your forgiveness? Now, if you're not aware of how forgiveness works, or if you're not aware of how resistance works, you might be like, wow, I never thought that this part of my life would be connected to my abundance. But it's all about the energy. And you're going to know immediately in your own awareness, in your own thought process, in your own mind, if there's someone or something in your life that remains unforgiven, that there is some form of resistance there. And this can show up in a lot of different places. One of the first places to look is the people that have authority in your life. So often that is our parents, because as children we can see our parents as gods. We can revere them in the same way. It might be a coach, a mentor, a guide. It might be a teacher. It might be a boss. To look to all the people in your life that are actually an authority figure and notice if there's any resistance there. Now, the beautiful thing about noticing if there is resistance with any of the authority figures in your life, which is really common, right? Because people want to be autonomous, but the people who are in authority positions in your life will often be mirroring to you your own authority. So are you in your own authority? Are you able to express yourself clearly to an authority figure? Are you able to express your emotions to an authority figure in your life? It might be your mom, your dad, an aunt, an uncle. It might be a grandparent. It might be, again, like I said, a boss or a manager that you have. Are you able to value yourself enough to express yourself and say, this is important to me, this is how I'm feeling, this is why I'm having this reaction to what is occurring. Now, of course, a big part of this, as you can see, is being accountable and being responsible for your own emotions. And often this is what happens in authority situations, is people don't feel like they're able to truly express their emotions. They make decisions around what that authority figure is wanting from them, and they shut down often their expression. So the authority figure doesn't know that they're unhappy or they're feeling stressed or they're feeling overwhelmed. And what happens is it can breed resentment. This is a wake-up call from your spirit to say, you have the authority. You have the authority to speak your truth. You're looking to step into your power. That's why you're experiencing this kind of conflict or this friction with this authority figure in your life. It's an invitation for you to step into your power more fully. Because you think about it, people who are in their power, who are feeling empowered, who are expressing themselves, who are in their authority, they don't experience so much conflict because they have claimed their power for themselves. So they're using their infinite ability to create what it is that they want in a powerful way. They're directing their energy and attention in a way that works for them. They're owning their value by showing up and expressing themselves. And again, that doesn't mean that there's going to be no conflict whatsoever, but it means that you are valuing yourself enough to express where you're coming from, how you're feeling, and what's important to you. And this is super, super important in work environments, but also in terms of your abundance. If you're not choosing to own the value that you are, nobody else can do it for you. You have to be the one that says, you know what? Actually, I am great. right? I am amazing. I've been through maybe some contrast. I've had experienced some trauma because everybody does, but I'm choosing how I'm going to respond to that. I'm choosing to be more accountable. I'm choosing to honor my emotions. I'm choosing to express myself. I'm choosing to ask for what it is that I want. I'm choosing to say no to what it is that I don't wish to experience or don't feel good to do. I'm choosing to create more circumstances in my life that feel good. So I can move into a space of non-resistance. I can be acceptance of what is. Now I appreciate, right, with sometimes when it comes to forgiveness and people in your life. So really, if you're tuning into the energy of abundance, if you're choosing to vibrate abundance, you're going to be in an energy of non-resistance. There's often a lot of and erroneous thought processes around forgiveness. People often think that it's about, letting the other person off the hook. No, it's about setting yourself free. It's about releasing all the contracted negative emotional energy within your body and within your energy fields so you can experience peace, right? It is something that you gift to yourself. It is not for the purpose of, it's only your ego that does things like that because it's fearful that if you forgive the person that you won't be safe. That is incorrect. You have information, you have awareness, you can keep yourself separate from that person. A lot of people think that forgiveness means that you have to have a relationship with the person afterwards. That is also incorrect. You are definitely welcome to forgive people, but also have a relationship at a distance or far, far away. You do not have to have an ongoing day-to-day relationship with them. You don't even have to speak to them after forgiving them. You don't have to tell them that you've forgiven them. Just have to do the inner work so you can get free and clear, so you can live in peace, so you can live in harmony, so you can live in non-resistance. So again, everything is anything in the respect of if you have any form of resistance in your life, you want to be looking at that. You want to be doing the work to melt it away. You want to be doing the forgiveness work so you can forgive literally everyone of everything. Now, I appreciate too, forgiveness, a lot of people often have an idea that it's a one-time thing, that you just forgive somebody and then it's done. Forgiveness is a practice. So it's often something that we need to come back to over and over and over again until we are completely free, because it's going to be different for everybody. You might be able to forgive somebody and be completely free and clear, whereas other people, they might be able to forgive partially and then there's still something that they're hoping or wishing or wanting from that person. This is quite prevalent when it's a parent that we're looking to forgive, because there's often a younger self inside of ourselves that's still looking to receive something from that person. So we often have to do the deeper inner work to go in, find that younger self, give them what they need, help them to heal so they can let go. So it can be more complicated than just saying, oh, just forgive the person. A lot of people too, they don't realize forgiveness comes from the heart. It does not come from the mind. So it's an energetic process. It is a very active, energetic process rather than just a thought process. You can't just say in your mind, oh, I forgive you, and then have the person be forgiven. You'll be able to tell in your own body and in your own energy field whether you have truly released that. So vibrating to the energy of abundance means that we're going to do the inner work so you can get free and clear, so you can start tuning into what does abundance feel like in my body, and start focusing on that. The interesting thing is too, folks, that when it comes to creating more wealth for ourselves, yes, it's about the money and the respect that the money is the tangible byproduct of our focus, but it's often not the focus, because money in and of itself is just a piece of paper. We want to focus on what feels joyful, what feels expanded, what feels abundant. Right? What does abundance feel like? It feels like no obstacles. It feels like expansion. It feels relaxed. It feels safe. It feels like fun. It feels like you can go anywhere, anytime, and do anything with anyone that you like, because you can, because you have the freedom to make those kind of choices. So this is the energy that we want to start focusing on. And one of the best ways to do this, of course, is to speak to this out loud. Like, one of my favorite all-time statements is I choose, right? I choose to be a person who expresses themselves. I choose my light. I choose my power. I choose my ability to be able to create my reality. I choose abundance. I choose to feel abundance in my body. I choose to let go of any resistance that I have in terms of creating what it is that I want. Like when you start saying these kind of statements out loud, you'll notice the shift in your body and your intuition, because it's so wonderful and it loves you so much, right? Your connection with source energy, your ability to be able to communicate with your divine. The divine, that's what your intuition is. It loves you so much that it will start showing you if you have stuff in the way, right? You'll feel it in your body. Your body will be like, oh, I see you saying that, but guess what? There's a bit of contraction there. Then you start using your awareness to start asking that contraction some questions. And then from there, we're really starting to supercharge our ability to be very present to our own sensitivity, our own awareness, and to be able to shift and move and release energy. Right? Because energy will often present through the physical body. You'll feel it as aches or pains or discomfort. You know, your body knows how to keep itself whole and healed, and it's always showing you if it's out of alignment. It's always showing you what to do to come back into alignment. But often we don't get the message through the rational mind because it's an energy that it's trying to communicate to us. So we need to learn how to speak in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So this is all super important, right? To get the dialed in to that radio station that is just transmitting abundance. And it is a day-to-day, moment-to-moment experience of manifestation. What you are thinking, feeling in each and every moment matters. It's important in terms of where your focus is going. And I know what it's like to be in those spaces where, you know, your thought process goes off on a little gallop into something that doesn't serve you. Your job, using your awareness, is to notice that and go, oh, wow, look, I'm having a thought process that's taking me to a place that I don't feel good. It's taking me out of that sweet spot, that clear radio station, that clear transmission of abundance is taking me away from that. You know, when you tune the radio and it gets a little bit staticky because you're not in the right station, that's your awareness, right? When the thought process starts coming in, that's when you're starting to create that static. That's when we need to turn the dial back to come, how can I go back to that sweet spot? Because you know how good it is when you're listening to the radio and it's really crystal clear and it's a great song on, and there's nothing worse, right, than when some static, like you go around a corner or you're driving in your car and, you know, there's some interference or whatever and it gets a little staticky and it's your favorite song. You're like, it just ruins it a little bit, right? It's pinching your joy. That is literally what happens with our own thought processes when they start to go into something that's going to create an energy or, the knock-on effect, the chemical cocktail that's created in the physical body because of our thought processes. So our job is to keep on bringing the awareness back and going, how do I stay in the sweet spot for as long as possible? Or if you bump out of it, what choice am I going to make to get back in, right? To get back into that place where it feels really good, that there's no resistance, you're feeling good, you're feeling the expansion, you're tuning into what's possible rather than what's not. You're choosing that expansion, that joy. You're choosing to focus on what it is that you want to manifest, not because of the manifestation itself, but because of the feeling that it's going to bring you to have the manifestation come to reality, which again, ironically, helps you to manifest it by focusing on the feeling, allowing yourself to feel that now in spite of your circumstances, in spite of what's happening, in spite of what people are saying, in spite of what you're seeing in your reality, that you're choosing to focus your attention there because it feels good. And you know energetically it's helping you to align with what it is that you desire. So really getting to a place where we're, it's kind of like manifestation strength training, that we're committed to noticing how we're feeling. We're committed to rewriting our own story. We're committed to staying in the sweet spot so we can vibrate abundance. And just thinking about it, maybe even being aware on a day-to-day basis, how much am I actually in the zone? Right? How much am I in a space of non-resistance? How much am I feeling joyful? How much am I feeling love? How much am I blessing other people? It's a really great way to shift your vibration, right? To just start blessing other people. I love and bless you with pure source energy. It's going to shift your vibe. It's going to take you into a place where you feel abundant. There's no resistance. You're extending a divine source energy blessing to somebody else. Another way you can do this, of course, is celebrate other people. When you see it in your reality, it's like the universe saying, this is possible for you too. So then you ask questions, what would it take for me to experience my version of that kind of success? And to start noticing what that feels like in your body. And the beautiful thing is, when you get into the flow, it just becomes easier and easier and easier to expand it, to amplify it, to appreciate it. And it becomes like a really fun game. So you're like, I feel good in my body and I'm so excited about the abundance I'm creating and I'm joyful, so happy and grateful that I'm connected to source energy and the universe is guiding me into my next version of abundance. And it's all available to me and I'm opening up to receiving it and I'm choosing to have this experience. I'm choosing to see myself as this energetic being that has the tools and has the ability to be able to create what they want. And I'm so happy and grateful for that. I'm so happy and grateful for being in love rather than being in fear. I'm so happy and grateful that I choose more and more love every day, that I get to feel good, that I have an amazing way that abundance can come into my life and world, that I'm opening up more portals of energy, of abundance to come into my home, into my life. I'm blessing my phone and my bank accounts and my computer as they're all portals for the way abundance can come into your life. And can you see when you get into a rhythm, right? You get into a space where you're actually amplifying this energy. It's becoming clearer, brighter, crisper, and you're running a different chemical frequency in your body. Tuning into the vibration of abundance as well, what I have noticed with the physical body is it is a difference chemically, right? So often what happens is when you're learning how to tune to it, sometimes you can have little dips and you can be like, oh my goodness, is this actually getting better or worse? Because, and again, just as a disclaimer, it does not last for long, but it's literally a chemical adjustment that is taking place in your body because you're thinking different thoughts and those thoughts have a different energetic frequency. And if those are higher thoughts than you're used to and frequencies than you're used to running through your physical body, your body takes a little moment to kind of calibrate to that. So even if you're experiencing kind of like, wow, I'm focusing on my abundance and it actually feels like maybe it's kicking up some stuff or it's feeling actually a little worse than how I was feeling before, please do not be afraid of that. It's part of the process. Okay, don't be afraid or don't get stuck there. Don't stay in that place of like, I'm feeling worse than I was before. You are literally shifting the chemical reactions that are occurring in your physical body. So as part of that, a little bit of the kickback can be the body going, wow, I'm not used to this. I'm not used to living in a frequency that is that much higher than what I have currently been putting up with. So don't be afraid of that. In fact, if that does happen, give yourself a high five and kind of go, I'm doing the work, which means that, maybe my moods are taking a little bit of time to kind of calibrate to a higher frequency so I can maintain these higher vibrations in my physical body. Just do what you would always do, which is drink lots of water, get plenty of rest, be kind to yourself if you notice that kind of thing. Know that it will pass, from what I've noticed in terms of people doing that, especially if they're like really committed and they're like, I'm going for gold. I'm committed to my abundance. I want to know myself as an energetic being. I'm committed to doing the work and I'm doing it daily. Then, a couple of weeks in, you might experience a little bit of mood swings, but right, if you keep on going, you'll shift your vibration and it will pass again in a couple of weeks max. It's just something to be aware of, right? Because you are literally changing the energetic foundation of your physical makeup. And a lot of people might listen to that and go, yeah, wow, right? Your thoughts have a vibration. So if you have been thinking or focusing on lack, that has a particular vibration. And often what happens when we start working and doing abundance work, we realize how little we have been asking for, how much we perhaps have not valued ourselves, how much we are cutting ourselves off from flow, from abundance, from more. And it takes a little bit of adjustment, and some of that adjustment is definitely physical. So again, be aware of that. High five yourself when it does occur. Drink lots of water, get plenty of rest, keep going, right? Keep going no matter what. Because often what happens is people have this funny thing with their mind where they start working on their abundance and they get all excited about it and they start working on it and start focusing on it. And then what will happen is their ego will creep up and it will say, wow, it's been a couple of weeks, so I was really expecting things to be different. This is not something that you do on a Sunday afternoon for 2 hours, folks. You want to get into the space of my energetic vibration, moment to moment, is creating my reality. So what is the vibration that I am in moment to moment? Not something that I do for 2 hours or even 20 minutes a day. Where am I at moment to moment? And this, you can see, is actually a deeper commitment, not just to your own happiness, but also to your spiritual practice. When you are doing this, when you're making that kind of depth of commitment to yourself, you are literally saying to the universe, I'm choosing to live from my soul as much as possible rather than my rational, critical human mind. That is a very different proposition, and it's a very different way to move through your life experience. Living from your soul, beyond ego, beyond fear, beyond contraction, and to be in those spaces of expansion, of love, of bliss, of delight, of curiosity. I wonder what's next. I'm so excited about what's next. I have no idea what's next, but I know it's going to be good because that's my intention. Very liberating way to live. And again, just doing the work to keep on tweaking and shifting and changing and getting that channel as clear as possible. That is the work. Maybe you've done some manifestation before and you have been excited about it and then you've lost your enthusiasm. I would encourage you to see it as like that moment to moment experience. That's where manifestation happens and your predominant energy most of the time. And often too, right? Like it can be easy to give up, or it can be easy to say it's not working, or it can be easy to do the eye roll and go, this manifestation stuff doesn't work. It can be easy to buy into that story. But what you want to do is go, okay, I need to make a deeper commitment. I need to notice how I'm feeling more consistently. I need to honor my emotions so I can really start working with them to direct my energy in the way that I want it to go. I get to choose in every moment, so I'm going to activate the power of my choice to go deeper, to be more present, to do the deeper healing, to forgive everyone of everything, to be in a space of non-resistance, to do what it takes so it's easy to get excited about abundance. It's easy to be joyful. It's easy to be in a bigger energetic space, to have a bigger container, to feel good about creating abundance for yourself. And I know what it's like, folks, to be sometimes thinking, whoa, right? There's obstacles here. But the irony is the only obstacle is you, always. And that just means sometimes that we need to dig a bit deeper and go, what is the solution here? What is the energetic vibration that is going to help me to heal, release, shift all my stories for good? Not because we live in a space where we have to hunt down every limiting belief that we've ever had. No, we don't have to do that, but we have to be in a predominant energy of expansion to be able to have abundance be fun, joyful, effortless. It doesn't mean that we live without fear completely. It doesn't mean that we live without doubt. It just means that we notice when we're hanging out in those frequencies, and then we make another choice to come back to something that does feel better. And if it's really hard to do that, we go, okay, is there some other deeper healing that needs to take place here? So it is easier for me to focus on what feels good, and then being willing to do that so we can come back to that space. So that's just some short notes, folks, on the vibration of abundance. The question to take away with you is, what does abundance feel like in my body? Really great tip would be to start journaling about that. What does abundance feel like in my body? And, make sure that you're writing a full page maybe on a consistent basis, right, from what I've just said. Folks, the energy and vibration of abundance is available to you. It's available to you right now. It is literally once you understand how energy works, something that you can tune into. Our work is to keep on tuning it, fine-tuning it. I'm sending you so much love and blessings, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next show. Bye for now. Bye. Thank you for joining the Intuitive Abundance podcast today. If you've enjoyed the show, please be sure to subscribe and write us a review so we can help other people positively impact their lives. I would really love that. If you're ready to activate the energy of abundance within you, then be sure to go to www.intuitivelifeacademy.com to sign up for our abundance activation process. Until next time, here's to your ever-increasing freedom. All my love. Bye for now.